negotiator and business with some of the other players. And, it's Canada's loss in the short term because we said the deal didn't get done. But I think it will be interesting to follow going forward because if he does end up being a free agent, Tristan Thompson is going to have a lot of interest. And like we said, the Toronto Raptors are a team that would be in a position to make a run at a guy like that.
Michael, how refreshing is it that Canadian players have a legitimate excuse not to represent their country now?
Well, I would say get used to it, right? Because, so many of these, I think they're going to have 10 NBA players on their team this coming year.
Michael, can I ask you a question? Are you saying hundreds of millions of dollars trumps national pride?
Well, I was thinking about this last night, and I guess the way to think about it is playing for your country is an honor, but it's not a duty. And I think, the way, people kind of confuse this a little bit with the hockey scenario, and the difference in basketball is there's every summer there's a qualifying tournament, and the qualifying tournaments, you're either qualifying for the World Championships, playing in the World Championships, qualifying for the Olympic Games, or playing in the Olympic Games. And those tournaments and those events are smack in the middle of every off-season. And, you've seen that, whereas in hockey, the big events are only every, with the Olympics every 4 years. And you've seen this, and they happen in the middle of the season. So it's a lot easier for a hockey player to play in those events. And you see it in hockey where the World Championships, a lot of players decline the opportunity to play in the World Championships because they're hurt, they're tired, or injured, or wherever they might want to play. So, whereas in basketball, it's a lot more conspicuous because the pool of players isn't as big, and so you notice when somebody's not there. But I think the good thing for Canada, and this is true of all countries, all nations have these issues where they can't always get all their key players for all these events because of a contract issue or an injury issue. I think the really good thing for Canada going forward is their pool of really good players is so big now that, Tristan Thompson's not going to play this year, and I wouldn't say that's not a big deal, because it is, but they have...
Not a backbreaker.
They have 3 other NBA players at that position. They have Andrew Nicholson, Dwight Powell, and Anthony Bennett can all play power forward who are in the NBA. So, whereas in the past, Steve Nash decided not to play, towards the end of his international career, it was huge. He was the only NBA player, arguably, and it took out like a sore thumb.
Do they medal at the FIBA Americas?
I think they do. The medal they got to get is silver, right? Bronze doesn't do it. You got to get silver, and that gets into the Olympics next year. So I think they do. I think you look at this roster, and they have an NBA player backing up almost every position on the floor, and they have some. I think they've got options to be a big team. They got options to be a small team. There's a little bit of questions at point guard behind Corey Joseph, and that 18-year-old Jamal Murray carry the mail in that environment. And again, Tristan Thompson is a loss, but Andrew Wiggins will make his senior national team debut, and I can't, watching at the Pan Am games, if you throw Andrew Wiggins onto that floor, I can't imagine how he's not the best player in any tournament he shows up at.
Well, we appreciate you doing this great article again, sportsnet.ca. Michael Grange, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Ed.
Take care. Michael Grange, 727. Why George is wrong, and, what? You heard, why George is wrong, and the only tickets to Friday night's Yankees-Jays game next. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Starting now on Toronto Sports Radio, Sportsnet 590 The Fan.